Hi, my name is Kim and I'm currently on a 5-week road trip around Scotland. Here I spend my time walking along beautiful beaches, exploring old castle ruins, as well as just enjoying the beautiful countryside there is on offer. If you want to follow me on my adventures, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. I'll see you out there. Good morning, everyone. So this is me from about a month or so in the future because I am very behind in editing all these videos. Because yeah, I've started my new job, so I'm a little bit busy, but I'm still trying to get these out to you as soon as possible. But I've just started looking at the footage of this video, and other than just copying everything from my GoPro, I've not really looked at it at all. And unfortunately, I have noticed that the first couple of clips, for some reason, are gone. I've long since wiped the memory card, so it's definitely not on there anymore, and I can't find the clips on the laptop, so I guess they are gone. But yeah, as it wasn't much, it was just the first few from the morning. But to catch you up, basically this day I decided to go to the Isle of Kerrera, which is a little island just in front of Oban. And yeah, you take a little ferry across, and yeah, that's pretty much, we pick up probably about 10 minutes into my walk. So yeah, hope you enjoy. We made it to Horseshoe Bay, so come down a bit, and there's some things you can, some accommodation, just some, what do you call them, pods, but yeah, pretty nice place to stay. There's a shipwreck down there. So just one thing I would consider if you're hoping to come here, you do basically just continuously walk through farmland. So see tons of sheep around, there's some cows and all of that. So if you come here with a dog, please be careful, make sure you have them on a leash, and yeah, don't disturb the animals. So the first bit along the shore was nice and flat, but we are starting to go slightly inland, and it's starting to go uphill because this island is actually very hilly, as I'm sure you can see around me. And yeah, looks like the road is climbing now, and I'm nice and warm at the moment. My layers were perfect for just walking along the flat road, but now if we're going up, I'm gonna get sweaty very quickly, so I'm just gonna take off a layer. Alright, take my down layer off. I'm just wearing a fleece and my raincoat for winter protection now, because it is actually quite warm. So it's just so again, whenever the wind comes through, that it gets chilly for the moment. But yeah, it's a nice temperature to walk at. So we're about 2 miles into our walk today, and gonna make sure you can see it. In the summer, down there, you've got a nice tea garden there. You can get a drink, some coffee, some cake and all of that stuff. Unfortunately, they do not open over the winter, so they're closed at the moment. But I've heard really good things about how nice it is to just walk down here in the summer, have some refreshments, and then do the hike back. Here on the island there's also an old castle to explore, which is of course where we're headed. But yeah, where you see that, before you see the tea room, there is a little signpost marker. But you've got the houses there, but to get to the castle you've got to head this direction. So make sure you look out for it and turn off at the right point. And the sun is coming out. So we've got, you can now see Gylen Castle, but yeah, we'll get a whole lot closer. I'm just kind of following the path around here from the bottom. Just kind of come from around there, and somehow around here we are supposed to get across to the castle. Got the castle right ahead of us and nearly there. But just check out this view first. Alright, that was a little look at Gylen Castle. And very nicely picked location. Now, one thing I'm going to mention, you will see there's everything around here is covered in grass, which is lovely to walk on, but if it has rained, it is rather slippery. I have slipped, some of the other people here have slipped, nothing bad, but caked in mud a little bit now. So yeah, just be careful when you walk around on these slippery grass slopes. I've just made it back down to the water. The view from the castle from down here is pretty nice as well. Now we are towards the southern end of the island, and of course if you wanted to you could very easily just retrace your steps. A couple of minutes you're back on that main road and it's a nice and easy walk back, but I'm going to do a little loop. So we came from up this way, with the castle being there on the top, but now for the way back we are continuing down here and are kind of doing a loop towards the northwestern part of the island, and just doing a loop around the other side. Should be, so with the sun coming out now as well, it should be beautiful. Alright, I had a great time just chilling here by the beach for a bit, and now it's time to get going again and head up there. I'm loving the scenery here, but just be prepared for some bogginess. I'm so glad I decided to wear my boots today and not just my low ankle hiking shoes, because I've just been ankle deep in mud for about the third time, so the boots are definitely worth the weight in gold right now. But the good thing about having Gore-Tex waterproof boots, so they were caked in mud a minute ago, but we're just past a little stream of fresh water. So you just stump your feet in it, shake them around a little bit, and the boots are reasonably clean again very quickly. Alright, looks like we're back on a proper track, so probably will be less wet, at least for a little while now. So that little sign just said Ferry 5 kilometers, which means we're just over halfway around the loop. But yeah, I think the second 5k are going to be a little bit harder because we're going to go up and over some of these hills. This is really a beautiful island. The scenery is pretty amazing, and like I've already said, you've got pretty much sheep everywhere, but it's also a very wet island, and to be completely honest with you, I'm not sure it will be that much less wet in the summer. I think it's just the type of surface that is, don't think most of it will ever really dry out. But yeah, as long as you're prepared with the right gear, like I said, waterproof boots definitely needed. It's really nice to stump around out here. Alright, this section back there, all the way through here, some of the worst mud I've seen that I've waded through in a long time. But I can just see here there's a little path coming down from this side, so I wonder if you would be able to go over it and skip it, because my right boot currently is about a pound heavier because it's completely covered in mud, but I'll just wash that off now. So it does look like we've left that muddiest part behind. So from the route description, we've reached a farmhouse here, and it says after the farmhouse there's a proper track again for the rest of the route. So hopefully that's been the worst with the mud, and will be a nice easy walk for the rest of it. Right, as predicted, we are back on a nice track, which makes moving much easier. But for the next 600-700 meters or so, we are climbing. We're gonna get to the highest point of our little route. We'll only be at 100 meters above sea, so not exactly that high. But yeah, we're climbing up from pretty much sea level straight up to there, and yeah, we'll definitely get warm. Still climbing, but good thing about getting higher up we're getting some pretty nice views. In the mist back there, that's the Isle of Mull. And here's our road up. I believe we're mostly done with the climb. It's evened out a good bit up here, and looks like we're just going to be walking up on this plateau for a little bit before we kind of drop back down towards where the ferry is. So it's just before 1 o'clock now, and I'm hoping to catch the 2 o'clock ferry. It's just over 2k to get back to the ferry port from here, so plenty of time. We'll take it nice and slow, and I believe on the way we should also come past a farm shop. The way it looks like online, it should be open, and we'll just have a little nosy, see what they have. Maybe they have some fresh bakes, because as you know, I'm a little bit obsessed with cake, so if they've got anything like that, we'll definitely get something. It felt quite sheltered for most of the walk. We are quite, as I said, close to the shore for most of it, but there's definitely more of a wind going on up here on that plateau, but at least the wind is coming from behind us, so it's blowing us in the right direction. Some fresh hay here or something, which is why they're not running away from me. The path is starting to drop down again, so it looks like we're nearly back over to the other side of the island. And yeah, we've not got too far to go now. Yeah, the farm shop unfortunately does not look like it's open. Wrong info online, but you never know, it's always worth a try. But yeah, just gonna head down the last bit and we'll be back down at the ferry terminal. Okay, made it back to the ferry terminal. It's 1:30 just about at the moment, so got half an hour until the ferry's due to head back across, which is completely fine. Always nice to have a little bit of spare time, so yeah, I'm just gonna find a spot with a bit of shelter from the wind, and then I'll have a bit of a snack. I did bring some food with me, and then yeah, we'll be heading back over to that side. Alright, I am back over in Gylen, back in the car, and today was a really good day. Beautiful walk, as long as you don't mind it being a bit muddy, but I'd very much say it's a walk of kind of three very different parts really. So I'm just getting the map up here so that I'm getting the names right. But yeah, with this circuit I would say you kind of have kind of the first part down to the castle. So it's very much just on along a tarmac road, very nice, very clear, and yeah, a wonderful easy walk, and that you very well could return on that road if you don't want to get on those muddy tracks in the back. But then yeah, so once you leave the castle, as you kind of start heading across like boggy ground. It's all kind of grassy, wet, muddy stuff, but not too bad yet. But then once you go, let me get the name of it, once you pass the house in Ardmore, all the kind of, which is about kilometre 5.5 of the loop, all the way until you hit the farm at Barnabuck, which is just past the 7k mark. So I'd say for about 1.5k really, that track gets super muddy, very wet. And as I said, I'm not sure it will be much. It will certainly be better in the summer, but I don't think that part will ever really dry out. That will stay boggy. But then from Barnabuck, for kind of the third part of the hike, the last couple of k, you're along a farm track or a gravel road again, so nice and easy hiking. And yeah, I'd say definitely worth the trip across. Now with the winter timetable, I think there's about 10 or 11 ferries spread out between, I think, 8:30 and 6 o'clock-ish. If you plan early enough, if you request by the day beforehand, I think at lunchtime cut off the day beforehand, they also can offer an 8 o'clock in the morning and then a later 7 o'clock ferry in the evening, but you do have to pre-book that. But yeah, fairly, there's some like morning peak and afternoon peak. I think some ferries a bit closer together, but during the day it's pretty much every hour and a half. But in the summer, they do run much more often. I've had a look at the summer timetable and it looks like it's roughly about every half an hour that they run. And the return ticket is £3.70, so really not bad. Now, if you do want to head across to this island, we mostly explored the kind of southern half of it. But so if you look at this here, so there's the ferry. We kind of did this part, but then you've also got the upper end of the island here, which is kind of closer to Oban. And you do have Kerrera Marina up there. And they do also offer a private boat service from Oban town. I'm not 100% certain. I think you do have to pre-book that one as well. I'm not quite sure how it works with the timetable, but that is another option. And on that side there at the marina, there is also a restaurant that is open all year round, as far as I understand. And yeah, if you want to have a bigger day out on the island, you know, you could do a loop around the whole thing, as we mostly covered the southern half. But yeah, I'd say definitely worth it for a day out from Oban. You've got some time here. But yeah, I had a little snack while I was waiting for the ferry, but I'm hungry for some proper food. So I'm just going to stop off in town, get some takeaway, head back to the hostel, and then, I don't know if you can see it, I did wash my hands, but I need a shower after all that mud. All right, see ya in a minute. Alright, just got myself a chicken burger with some fries, and just need to get petrol on the way, because like I said, tomorrow I'm headed to one of the islands, and it's quite an early ferry, so I want to get everything done tonight. And petrol here is reasonably cheap. I don't know what it is over on the island, but so I want to fully fill up the car here just to get that done, and we should be fine while we're over there. And then yeah, back to the hostel, and we'll be done for today. Alright, it's a couple of hours later and I've got an update. So we're on a ferry tomorrow. Ferry was supposed to leave at 7:15 in the morning, and I've just gotten the message that it has been cancelled. Now there's been a lot of ferry disruptions over the last few days. Tomorrow's looking, kind of because of weather, tomorrow's looking much calmer. So I was hoping it was fine, but it looks like, I don't know, vessels are doing special journeys and are out of positions and stuff like that. So my crossing has been cancelled. Now, most of them are already full tomorrow. which is why I had such an early crossing in the first place. Now I've just checked availability, and the only two options were either have a sailing at 6 in the morning or 8:30 in the evening. Now, I don't want to get to my location that late, so I moved my booking to 6 in the morning. So I'll be getting up at about 4:45. Wish me luck. We'll be fine. We'll get to the other island and I'll have a nap in the car. The only other sad thing, my original crossing was going to be on the Lord of the Isles, which is one of the bigger ships. Now this new one is, can't remember the name, sorry, it's not on my booking here. It's one of the smaller vessels, which is still fine, but I was quite looking forward to the big one. But yeah, not going to happen now, but we'll still make it to our destination tomorrow.